In this video we will service Noritsu V50 and its continuation of the series. So in this video we will clean up everything and try to make a full maintenance of the machine as much as we can, because we need to put it in action. And also I will replace the serviced head, and I also will disassemble some parts because I have a new head, and this head which I serviced, it's actually from the probably Noritsu V50 or V30. They interchangeable, and I need to take the main kind of a crate from the V50A, which is dropping the canisters in a special bucket, and install it on this head. And I will do it meanwhile in the end of the video, but in the beginning we have a lot of cleaning to do. So if you know probably that some film labs have a quite huge volume, and it means that it's a lot of film and a lot of chemicals actually get passed. And as you understand, all of these things stay in the machine, so it's replenished, so it's kind of removing the chemicals also by itself, but also in the same time you know that it's a lot of gunk, a lot of things actually from emulsion itself. And it's also several effects if you not clean it, not maintain it properly. So we need to remove all the old things from the previous users of the machine itself, clean up everything, open up the most of the things which is connected to the sensors. We need to clean up the kind of a main part of the machine, chemical sections, the pumps, and everything around the development of the film itself. So this will be more or less short video. I try to compact it, but in reality just know that this whole process took the whole day, and we left the lab, I don't know, around like 1 o'clock at night. So it was quite tedious, and it was like quite hard process to do, and it was also fun in the same time. I was servicing machines like that, but not in the film industry, and it's more or less how it looks like. So it's involving a lot of cleaning, scrubbing, and a lot of removing of the parts, screwing back together, and things like, you know, wiping everything with alcohol and clean up everything and rewash it several times. So it's a lot of work which I not included in this video, but just know that this is a first kind of a raw cleaning of the machine, and in future, in the next cycles, we will probably improve the cleaning with the special chemicals, and I will test some stuff because it's not really easy to find stuff here in Serbia. So let's start with the video. We will start with the powering off the machine and start removing all the chemicals. And because it's a roll-to-roll machine, it's a lot of chemicals there, and especially it's just a huge tank for the color developer and multi-stage washing. And after a long period of time and high volumes, you have quite nasty solutions inside. I also have plans to improve the safety of these procedures and also improve overall experience with the machine, because I know most of the people service it and it's not like fully serviced, just because how long this process takes and how many work hours it requires. And also it's extremely dirty process if you not do it regularly and if you not automate things. So probably I can bring some experience from the chemical industry. So this machine have the different racks, and you probably saw them on the picture. It looks like that, and the film leader pull the film inside this rack and made basically 90 degrees rotation back on the rollers, and it drives by this main drive shaft. We was trying to remove it, but it was not so easy, and without removing of the motor, it was basically too much of the task for the day. For the first step of the raw cleaning, you need to just pre-soak everything and remove the dirt and debris and remove all the chemicals from the surface to have basically the more safe environment to work. And this is our old unit, and I will install the new one which I serviced, and it's one of the most important parts of the machine because it's loading film, and most of the time you have a problem with this first front interface. And you need to be extremely careful with the connectors and also try to not bend the PCB there, because everything is old, and you need to understand that these connectors completely lost their flexibility, so it's really hard to remove everything from the board itself. But because I want to replace it, I definitely need to do that, and in this process I need to remove all the safety covers from the front loading unit and also move the screen temporarily on the side. And also I was removing rust and inspecting the drying gear, and also I was trying to remove the rust from the components which I already see starting to corrode. And after that we start to wash everything. These racks should be clean and they should not contain any kind of a debris on top and definitely should be free out of the rust. And also important parts to remove all the gunk, and you can see the color of the water, and this is only crossover units on top. But because they're not in a solution and they on top of the chemicals and all the machines, all the condensation and all the dirt actually accumulated on them. And meanwhile the brakes, we take some pictures and also developed it on this machine later. You can see that it's extremely dirty, but in reality it's already degradation of the plastic. So basically chemicals got inside the plastic and you don't really have a chance to completely wash it up. So it's kinda chemically clean, but in reality on the chemical standards it's not clean at all. So I will service these gears, also remove all the lubrication and dirt from them. And the really good thing what works for this type of applications and plastics, it's a pink paste and it's just abrasive, but it's really small, so it doesn't really damage a lot the surface of the plastic. And in reality, if you use anything more aggressive like scrubbing, use it only on outside surfaces and not in the inside surfaces, because otherwise you will scratch the surface, you will have crystallization points, and basically you will get everything much worse than before. And you need to clean the machine basically twice faster. I also thinking to collaborate with some company to make the proper sealant on top of the plastic to have like more refurbished machines. And because I want to see what is inside the sensor area, I just went in and saw this type of a rock there. And some of the compartments of this machine was never opened and most probably also assembled incorrectly, because I can see that this part was not properly sealed and the heater inside the fixer was not properly sealed. And you have evaporation and condensation inside the sensor area, which is extremely bad. So we cleaned everything as best as we can as a first cleaning cycle. And you saw the color of the water which we was washing machine with. So it took probably, I don't know, half a ton of water to just clean up everything here, re-lubricate important parts, and now it's the time to install my serviced hat. I kept it in the foil, so this is an old clean room trick to basically remove the dust, because the foil doesn't really collect electrostatic. And now we need to figure it out how to exchange the drop bucket. So I will assemble back some gearing and we'll start to replace and check if the hat fits itself like it is. And after first tests, yes, I can confirm it fits, so it's basically exactly the same hat and only one difference is this front metal part. And because I also want to preserve the same functionality on the hat, I need to replace this part. It should be quite easy work, and unfortunately only one downside, that's the front part and front panel also doesn't really match the previous one. So I need to unscrew all the front sensors and all the front parts from the shiny metal parts, and there you definitely can see that I replaced the dirty one, cleaned it up and installed it in the new hat. But also this metal part, as I said, doesn't really fit, so I need to unscrew all the sensors and put them back on a new one. And when everything was done, I installed the hat inside and have the all compartments cleaned with the alcohol and also remove all the debris and dirt from inside. This machine is quite nice, so it has only like M4 bolts, and if you have a pack of them, it doesn't really matter if you drop one or not. And in principle, this is how the machine should build up. I still don't really understand why in most of the common electronics you have like strange, extremely annoying 10 billion types of hex, star screws and all types of the screws like that. Sometimes I think people forget what is the standards and why they was existing from the beginning. So we passed also several times with the washing additionally and cleaning with the alcohol, everything. We filled up the whole machine with the washer and dump it again, just because we don't really have a direct access to the pumps, but we need to clean them. And after long hours, the cycling of the cutters works perfectly, machine boots up, and we tried to make the tests with a test leader. And everything is passed, so we will pour the new chemicals inside the machine, and in next videos I will develop some film in it. So stay tuned and see you under the safe light.